Three, two, one.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bobby Smith. I am a vice president with Powur, and we are excited to have you here tonight as we launch our roofing division within our company. Our goal here tonight is to give you enough information to make an informed decision to join our company. So let's walk you through it and talk to you about what we're doing here. What we're going to cover tonight is who we are, our company, our model, the solution that we have built for the solar industry that is changing the solar industry. And again, why you as a roofing professional should leverage our platform and add revenue to your company for your existing clients, your previous clients, and all of your future clients. And of course, give you every reason to, under the sun, to join Powur tonight when we're done. Our company was founded in 2014. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've invested over $10 million. We're a $100 million company. So the debate about who we are is kind of behind us. Jonathan was one of the top internet marketers in the world. He invested $1 million of his own money, went to the rainforest, and just felt compelled to build a better future for his 2 children. And that's how our company was born. We are a public benefit corporation, which is a very unique distinction for companies. And our focus is to do good for the world. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we move on. If it's not good for the world, we won't do it. Behind any great company is a great board of directors. Our board has raised billions in venture capital. Our management team represents the best from divisions of software design. We are an IT company, a software company that was spending about $100,000 a month building proprietary software. Customer support, solar economics, accounting, finance, solar sales and training, and our COO to help take our company public. Really the best of the best, and we're hiring at a record pace right now as our company has literally doubled over the last few months. It's extraordinary what's happening in our company right now. The timeline, again, 2014, our first client. So again, if you're looking at this and trying to decide if we're the real deal, you want to place your reputation with us, your customer experience with us. Our first client was Solar City Tesla, the largest solar company in the world. They vetted us. They liked what we were doing. They wanted to be a part of this. We outgrew them. We knew we couldn't scale with them. So we signed contracts with 100 of the top solar companies in the world. And so that means 100 of the top solar companies looked at us and wanted to be a part of our model. We went online to test the crowd and see what they thought about our idea, and we raised more money at that time faster than any company in the history of the world, over 1.4 million in just a few weeks. 5,000 people paid to join our platform. We have thousands of them on a private Facebook page as we speak. We really leapfrogged and changed the industry last year when we created the only fully transparent cost of goods model in the solar industry today. There's no one in the world that's ever done it. There's no one in the world that's doing it, and there's no one in the world that can catch us. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on as well. So our core values is really the heartbeat of our company. We're a public benefit corporation. We're here to serve our community, serve our children, serve mankind. We do get shit done. We have a team that meets every single day to innovate and create. We put you first, the representatives. Almost every leader on this line tonight has our cell phones. We text, we know each other, we know who our families are. We built a culture, and we think culture is important. Our company is the first solar company to offset 100% of the emissions, anything that comes from the manufacturing and installation of a solar system that we install, we offset. Planting trees, reducing CO2, reducing our footprint. It is essential to the core values of our company. Again, a wise man once said, if you want to change things, don't try and fight the existing reality. Build a new model that makes the old model obsolete, and that's what we've done. We've really made the old solar model obsolete, and we continue to do so as we continue to innovate. And that's why you're on here tonight, to be an entrepreneur, to join what we're doing. At the heartbeat of the company has to be the customer, right? The customer has to get a pristine experience in solar. We know that. Reviews, referrals, that's the business. But the person that's always gotten the short end of the stick in the solar industry, and will be in the roofing industry if they don't do it through us, really, The salesperson, they really have never gotten a fair shake. They never really knew how much profit they were missing out on until we created a transparent model. There's nowhere to hide here, folks. We show you every dollar in the deal. In the old model of selling solar, again, without the roofing industry, but it was restricted to solar people selling. We're going to talk about, again, how the roofing industry can get started here. But in the old model for solar salespeople, they sold for a dealer or a company. Maybe they got good and struck a deal. The commissions were always smaller. There was little or no support. There's no passive income. There's nothing residual about it. There's no equity. It's a job. There's nothing scalable about it. We're a tech company. Again, we were spending $100,000 a month on proprietary software alone. So while the old model was restricted to solar reps, and there were companies that were certainly roofing companies in solar, now in our model, it's available to the entrepreneurial, the entrepreneurial-minded contractors, roofing professionals, and any company really that's working with a homeowner. This is just a logical addition, but we've made it palatable. We've made it sensible for the company that may not want to focus on solar, but wants to add it to their revenue stream. We pay more money than anybody else. We train every day in English and Spanish. This is about passive income. This is about equity. This is about a scalable technology that literally will change an industry. Again, this is my favorite part. I love talking about this. And the easiest way I can explain this is if you're, everybody on here is an adult, right? If you look around the facets of your life, look at the main spokes on the wheel, if you want. Look at transportation, look at Uber, look at Lyft. Look at communication and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. Look how EXP created a model that made everything else in real estate seem like a dinosaur. And if you look at where we buy our food, Costco, and we'll talk about the Costco model, and Amazon, how people's purchasing. So again, just look around you. Communication, transportation, travel, real estate, food and groceries, and almost anything you buy retail have all been changed, geometrically changed by an online platform. So I always say to the logical thinking professional out there, if a platform changed every facet of our daily lives in every aspect that we've talked about, then why would anybody think that it would be different in solar and renewable energy? The only logical thinking is that a platform economy will change this. That's exactly what EXP did. Costco created a model where they make X amount of money on their membership fee, which allows them to give wholesale pricing to you and I. We've done the same thing. We've created a membership model, which allows us to get the best pricing in the industry, give that to you as a wholesale cost, let you sell or refer for whatever you want to do, and make more money than anybody in the industry that's doing it. And that is power. That is who we are. So for our roofing clients, colleagues, friends out there today, by leveraging our platform, this is producing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for roofing professionals. We're the first one to develop this online platform, and we were built for this current environment. While most of the large solar companies around the United States are laying off and figuring it out, we're an online solar company. We were built for this pandemic. It really doesn't affect us at all. In fact, we're growing faster than we ever could have even anticipated. And right now, from a timing perspective, not only do you have a proven company that's launching a division in a proven model with social proof of people making extraordinary incomes, but let's look at America right now. America is home. Their children are home. Electric bills are at an all-time high. Summer is upon us. Federal tax credits are diminishing. But again, the kids are home, eating up bandwidth, playing their video games. This is the best time to talk about the value of going solar for the consumer. And if you're a roofing professional and you want to get in the game, there is no better time. The benefits, you're owning your own solar company without any inherent capital risk. We've already developed the assets you need. We've already developed sales decks. We've already developed the email that you would send to your current client base, telling them or asking them if they want a free energy evaluation for their home. We've got all that for you. Our goal is to have $1 billion IPO And again, look what's happening in the roofing industry today without dating this presentation, even with Peterson Dean filing for bankruptcy protection as we speak. It's a new day, and it's a perfect day for you. So we're selecting the top roofing companies to launch with us now. We're not trying to convince anybody. We're selecting the best. And our major focus is Florida, California, Texas, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. We'll talk about that. We're expanding into more markets all of the time, but those are our major markets right now because that's where we're the general contractor, and that's where we have the largest margins, and that's where you'll make the most money. I want to turn this over to my colleague now. Charles Thompson's a great example of the type of professionals that we attract. Charles Thompson is a 20-year energy veteran. He has built, ran, started solar companies. He's just as good as it gets. He's a $500,000 a year solar professional. I know him as a person. I know him as a dad. I know the heartbeat. I know this guy who served our country. And Charles has been in conversations with many top roofers and roofing consultants to the industry and already has a really good feel and a good vibe on where this is going to go. So I want to bring Charles Thompson on. I'm 100% on the corporate side. Charles is 100% commissionable in the field. He makes his money by selling solar, referring solar, and teaching others to do the same. He acts as a liaison to our corporate team. We're honored to have him. And I want to turn this over to Mr. Charles Thompson. Charles, you have the ball.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Honored to work with you and to be mentored by you over the last 5 years. You've taught me more than I can even begin to explain, imagine, or even reveal. So thank you, sir. A little bit about the scope of this industry. I want you to kind of see the significance of what you have the potential of getting into. There's 130 million single-family residents. That's our laser focus, is residential, single-family residential. Of those 130 million, 90 million of those now qualify for zero down solar. There's only 2 million of those homes that have already converted to solar. So think of the scope of the early stage of evolution. It's the right time to get involved. What's really driving this is zero down solar, where homeowners get an immediate savings on their bill. They exchange a liability payment for a loan payment that then is typically lower than what they're currently paying and saving them significantly. It increases their home value from anywhere from 4 to 6%. The energy cost is locked in, so they never have to worry about that rising cost again, the energy that's produced by solar. And they own that. Once that loan's paid off, they have no more payment for the energy that's produced by those panels. And there's no prepayment penalty to do that. Numerous players are already in this industry. If you look at the GAF, they saw this as huge. They saw it as a disruptor, and they're not the only ones. Bobby mentioned Peterson Dean, an interesting story. One of the things that Peterson Dean couldn't figure out is how to control the scalability of the company, while at the same time controlling the cost of lead acquisition. And unfortunately, even though they did 10,000 installations over the past decade or so, that ended up happening because they couldn't control what we've been able to master as a company. And how we've done that is by rewarding the most important person in the relationship. Bobby mentioned the customer, but it's us. It's the people who are selling that are most important in this relationship, and that's where the most important investment is made. There's a term here that you can compare it to getting your roofing costs at wholesale. That's effectively what it is. So our wholesale cost for all of the equipment installed in this particular example on a 10 kW system, if you don't know these terms, you'll get familiar with those as you go through the initial orientation. This was sold at a retail price of $35,000. So it'd be just like saying, here's all my cost of goods for doing a roof, and I'm going to charge the homeowner $35,000. You get the margin. Well, in most companies, it doesn't go to the consultant, it goes to the company. A lion's share of that revenue goes to the company. In this particular example, there was a net revenue of $10,500. The consultant who sold this, or you as the roofer, would get 70% of that number, over $7,300. And you do nothing other than create the contract and pass the baton over to the project management team. Powur, for their portion, keeps 30%. They take half of their 30%. They put it into a dynamic compensation plan. You can compare that to EXP, Keller Williams, Prudential Insurance, Aflac Insurance. They have a dynamic comp plan. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But the lion's share of the revenue goes directly to you between the cost of wholesale and retail. The benefits to you, obviously with that, you can have significantly increased job profitability. You're gonna have a better customer experience. You're gonna be able to increase your brand because what you're doing, you can continue to have interaction, you diversify your offerings. Bobby mentioned, you can go back to all of your former clients and then use this for all of your new clients as you go through. It's a ongoing revenue opportunity for you. Why? Who better than a roofer? Everyone, you're going exactly where the solar is. You've got the existing relationships. You've got a unique advantage. It protects your warranties because now the installer that goes in after you actually extends that warranty, and the solar panels add a layer of protection and insulation to that roof. It's almost like laying a radiant barrier on top of the roof everywhere that the solar panels are. Significant benefit to the homeowner. In addition to that, we offer our homeowners an extensive warranty and recently increased an additional warranty of 30-year end-to-end coverage. Normally it's 25-year production, 10-year in terms of the job itself, and 5 years on the roof penetration. With this warranty, we go to a 30-year end-to-end, just a complete peace of mind. You know, in these times, we've seen a lot of changes, right? Companies had to evolve. Some of the reason companies are going bankrupt, they weren't prepared. We were built for this. And with this models, we will give you all the solutions that you need to be able to increase your sales, to increase your revenue, and tap into an essential business model. When you join, one of the things that we want to help you with is become familiar with solar. And we instituted a mentorship program. Some of the top sellers in this industry are on our platform as mentors. And rather than you going out and skinning your shins and stubbing your toes trying to figure it out, we'll be there to help you. Mentors will help you close your first 3 contracts if you haven't already sold solar. If you have sold solar, it'll be your first contract. And the reason for that is once you really get comfortable with the entire process so that you can go through seamlessly, and then you have the potential of becoming a mentor within the platform to work with other roofers. This is going to be a big vertical market for us as a company. As you decide to potentially share this with your organization or with other roofers, which would be a great benefit, right? You know a lot of roofers. You get to participate in revenue sharing. So anyone you directly enroll and refer to use the platform, you're going to get 20% of Powur's revenue. I mentioned they put half of their 30% aside. You'll get 20% of anyone who's with you in your frontline organization. Obviously, some of those are going to do the same in time, and that's where you actually get leveraged revenue sharing. And that'll go down as many as 6 generations with qualifications, which we'll discuss. Not everybody's going to do that. But those who do, that's just true passive income. You may know roofers in Florida. You may know roofers in California. You may know, wherever we are, you may know roofers that you can refer, and then they can refer people, and it creates passive income. Anyone you directly refer, you're going to get an average of $550 per installation that they generate. Anyone they refer, you'll get $275, and so on. So you go down 6 different tiers, levels, generations, whichever terms you want to use. We also have something that for the roofing community, what I have found several organizations set it up. They bring themselves in first. They then put all of their salespeople directly in with their own license so they can sell and make money. And they put all of their door knockers, for example, out underneath them as ambassadors. It's a free position. They don't have to pay anything. They enrolled and they have automatically the leads that they put in the system. They go to the consultant they're assigned to, and then the company is tagged as a mentor, and it's an absolute brilliant win-win. We'll discuss that with you if you have questions during the Q&A, but it's a brilliant way to line up your organization. The training that we have is unsurpassed in this industry. We have an LMS system we call a learning management software system. You go through about an hour course, take a test, then you can tap into the platform, start using it. We have live coaching every day, Monday through Friday. You have that on our calendar. There's an abundance of training, how to sell online if that's of interest to you, how to do organizational building, etc. Everything that you need to be able to launch into this company is available to you. And if you think about what's the risk? The risk is actually passed on to the solar installer. That pertains to their installation. All the engineering plans, the permitting, all that's done by the installer. You don't have to worry about any of that. So if you want to scale this as part of a additional revenue to your company, imagine you don't have to do any of your own permits of your own. This is something that's taken care of on the solar end by our team on your behalf. There's no other licensing required other than the state of California, even Illinois license and Connecticut licenses, but we're really focused on California, Texas, and Florida for this initial rollout. There's some other markets that we'll talk about that we are in. As I mentioned, California, Texas, Florida, we are the general contractor there. Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and New Jersey are in the process of becoming general contractor. We'll eventually go to Colorado, Illinois, North, South Carolina, and other markets. But laser focus for this call is to really get to where we are, Powur as the general contractor, because we can provide some additional benefits that we may not get into all those today. So with that, the icing on the cake, as you become part of this amazing platform, on your first installation, you get 100 options of stock within Powur. If you refer anyone to use the platform, when they get their first installation, they get 100 options, and then you actually override those options. You'll get 50 options in addition to theirs. As you hit basic performance numbers, 25 installs in a calendar year, it's 1,000 options. 50 is 5,000 options. That's one a week with a 2-week vacation. And since you're part of Powur before we go public, you'll have the ability to purchase discounted options when we do go public. I can't even begin to state what the value of that will be because the cost of stock is extremely low, and who knows where that number could go. It's beyond our ability to even comprehend today with the growth that we've had. Bobby mentioned the fact that we doubled last month. Prior to that, we were on 18-month, 20% growth month over month. Last month, we doubled plus 18% over the previous month, and we're pacing to double this month. I can't even believe how fast and wonderful it's been because we were prepared for this. We were built for this. So just kind of a recap, a 70-30 split of the net revenue, so over that cost of goods, wholesale versus retail. 6-level revenue sharing, should you desire to tap into that. You don't have to, obviously. You can leverage that ambassador program in 2 ways. Any of your door knockers, your lead generators, they can come in with a free position. And you can also put every single one of your customers in as ambassadors, have them refer people to you, and you can leverage that. The income that we shared on these relationships, for the ambassador gets $1,000 for referring anyone to you whom you close, and the equity ownership within Powur. As far as licensing costs, this is a minimal $99 one-time onboarding fee, and then we all contribute $49 a month into the technology. I was fortunate to have a meeting today with the IT team to see how they've tripled because we are growing. Our IT team is growing. The more we grow, the more we invest into technology, the more sophisticated, the more just a magic that this platform is going to have. So with that, I'm speaking to 2 audiences this evening. Those of you who are listening to the recorded version, get back to whoever referred you or sent you this recording, get your final questions answered. And to everybody, after we're done here, just become a consultant, work with a mentor, leverage this platform. And if you haven't already done so, go solar for your home because there's no better customer than yourself, and you can benefit from that. I'm going to stop the recording here in a moment, and we'll open it up for Q&A. Stand by.